Welcome to Fratello Talks, the podcast where we cut right through the chase, and these days also to be viewed on YouTube. And today I am here with Laurits and with Lex, and we will be discussing the Blancpain Swatch collaboration piece. But before we do so, Laurits, what's on your wrist?
Once again, I'm wearing my Longines reference 5760 from 1957.
It sounds that someone received an extract of the archives.
Exactly, I did. Yeah, I contacted Longines and they were very nice to provide me with a very good extract of the archive.
Okay, nice.
Charge, yeah.
Great. Cool. Yeah. It looks also nice, right?
It looks nice. It comes in a laminated piece of plastic laminated piece of paper, and it's super. It's a really cool service. So if you have an old Longines, I would highly recommend doing that.
Yeah, nice. And Lex has something yellow.
Yeah, I'm wearing a pièce unique. This is the first, and maybe the only, Fratello Casio rough mod that we tested a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still wearing it. It's as you can see, it's quite something.
Also to be viewed on YouTube,
yes,
because
definitely.
You did a nice video.
Yes, then you can see why it actually has tire marks, and it's missing a pusher, and the little display doesn't work anyway, but it still works as a watch because I can see what time it is.
That's what it's all about.
And it's unique, and I like that.
Nice.
Yeah. And what are you wearing?
Today I'm wearing my yellow gold Breguet Tradition, reference 7027 from 2005. And I put a custom strap on it from ABP in Paris. It's lizard, dark blue lizard. I've never seen a dark blue lizard, but it's on my watch.
It's beautiful.
And it was your tip, because I would have gone for a green strap because I think green and gold is nice, but I went for a dark blue one.
Yeah, it's very nice with the blue details on the dial and the hands. Yeah,
super happy with this watch. It's only 37 millimeters, but it has long lugs, so it's quite a
stunning piece.
Yeah, lovely. I don't wear it a lot, but I wear it occasionally, I would say.
You have worn it a lot.
I've worn, of course. You're always honeymooning with a new watch, and at some point I stopped wearing it daily, but now I wear it once every while, and it's a fun watch to.
That's awesome.
To wear, because a lot is happening on the dial. You see the balance wheel moving, and some people say, "Oh, the dial is very small at 12 o'clock, the Guilloche dial," but that's fine. You can't read the specific minute, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
No,
but it's very clear what time it is. It's time to talk about the Blancpain Swatch collaboration. The bomb was dropped on Thursday or Wednesday. What was it? And then the watch became available. No, it was Thursday midnight.
Yes.
And then the watch became available on Saturday,
was it
September 9th.
Yeah.
And big queues. Dan from our team went to Amsterdam and saw the queue for himself. He posted it on the Fratello Instagram stories. Yes. I saw queues elsewhere as well. I received an update that I think it was Japan, but I'm not sure. There was a huge queue in front of the boutique, and they would open at 9 a.m., but the police asked them, or demanded, that they would open the store already at 6 because the queue became like
too big.
Yeah,
there was also some incidents, I think, in Singapore where there was a lot of shouting and going on, and there was a lot of
I think happy people with the Blancpain Swatch collaboration, but also a lot of scalpers, I think.
I saw a lot of scalpers. I saw it on YouTube. We heard it through Dan, who witnessed it, talked to some people.
Yeah,
that it was all about it's a collaboration, and we're here. We try to get all the collaborations. Yeah. We try to get everything that we can possibly resell for more money. So
it reminded me not only about the Moon Swatch, but I think also the sneaker game.
Yeah, very
I have
much
this
like
sneakers app on my phone from Nike, and if there's a nice Nike Air Max 1 new release, I try to get it.
It's very much like that.
And if you don't get it, you have to go to your local online marketplaces or StockX or what have you not, and then are you willing to pay more?
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 had a long time they were not able to deliver Sony. And they were offered also on these online marketplaces. You had to pay on top, and now you see that they're widely available again. So it's a matter of time. And it seems, checking today, that unlike with the Moon Swatch, where the queues kept coming and coming every day for weeks and months.
They wouldn't go away.
this is not the case with the Blancpain Swatch. On the one hand, that's a good thing because the shops get restocked, so you can actually buy one, which was not the case with the Moon Swatch.
Yeah, but
on the other hand, I think also Swatch and Blancpain, perhaps, they want to measure the success by the length of the queues. Yeah. And I think those queues have gone because now it's there are no queues basically in a lot of cities.
But it seemed with the Moon Swatch, it was also sort of you had to play a little bit of a game. Not just with the queue, but you also never knew what they had in stock. You walk in, do you have this? You have to say what you wanted.
But people, I think, bought in the end what was there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. But if you were looking for a specific model, you wouldn't. It was very rare that you were able to go into a swatch boutique and say, "Can you show me the Moon swatches that you have?"
Yeah,
you have to say "Do you have this one?"
Yeah.
And then it'd be sort of like a guessing game, and it doesn't seem
and
like
there was
that's the case with this one.
A multitude of persons that I know that collected all Moon swatches.
Yeah.
Except for the ones that were released this year, and perhaps still are, with the Moonshine Gold hand.
Yeah.
But the first 11, they all wanted to have, and they have them meanwhile. Yeah. I also don't see that happening with the Blancpain.
No.
Perhaps also it's a different kind of money, I guess.
I think
I don't know.
No, I think also with the Moon Swatch, it was also about the watch. It was very much about the watch. So yes, it was hype. It was also about the watch. You have these two household names. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how I see it, it's like, okay, this was a big success. We created a humongous hype, and we produced a lot of watches. We sold a lot of watches. How can we repeat this? Okay, well, so what kind of brands do we have within the Swatch group? Okay, well, you have Blancpain. There's also Breguet, but Blancpain, of course, this year has this anniversary of the 50 Fathoms.
To me, that's a little bit strange because then you select a specific model that celebrates its 70th anniversary this year. According to some people, it's not the 70th anniversary, but I think it's the 70th anniversary. Let's assume that it is.
Assume that it is.
Yeah.
Don't you, with Swatch, is it not the case that you then steal the shine a little bit?
Yeah, that's also what I don't get. It's also like it's almost admitting that Blancpain is a relatively weak player within the horlogerie market. So that let's try and boost them by doing something we already did. Because in the end, it's just the same thing all over again. But the problem with doing the same thing all over again with a product that probably is less appealing because nobody knows Blancpain, let's be honest.
Yeah, Omega is more of a household name.
Absolutely.
According to some of our readers on the website, they commented, is it really? But I really think it is.
Of course it is.
I think especially for an older generation, even older than Lex, I think Omega is a household name. People know the brand very well. And I think also a very young generation knows it as well.
Yeah.
I really don't want to bash Blancpain because I wish every watch brand the best. But just look at the presence of Blancpain pieces in auctions. How Blancpain is doing with vintage watches on the secondary market, on the different platforms. Yeah. There's just a couple of specific models that do okay-ish. But for a brand that has been around for 1735, then was dead, was revamped by Mr. Biver, you would expect more. You would expect Blancpain to be high up in the horlogerie hierarchy, and they're just not.
Exactly, and there I get that Swatch wants to put the spotlight on Blancpain to get more awareness for the brand, more exposure. I think there are also different ways to do it because you want exposure for 15, 16, 17,000 euro 50 Fathoms. Not sure if that is what you will get when you aim at Swatch. But on the other hand, Omega did sell more Moon watches, confirmed, during the release of the Moon Swatch.
Yeah, but how many 50 Fathoms does Blancpain actually produce per year?
But here's
and
an
we're
idea.
Talking about 14,000 euro watches, right?
Yeah.
Here's an idea, Blancpain. If you want to promote your watches, lean into your strength and make a really good Blancpain.
I think where I see where the problem is with Blancpain. I like the brand. I love what they do. I think we visited Blancpain more than once. See the manufacture, beautifully done. But the ones that are really, really cool are always limited editions. Yeah. And I feel you want to have one awesome model that is always in your core collection.
Yeah, but
that is what Omega does.
Yeah.
With their Moonwatch. Is if you need to buy one Speedmaster, it's the Moonwatch. But if you want to collect them, you buy some variations. You buy a limited or a special or whatnot. But with Blancpain, the coolest ones are the limiteds, and that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, what's also, and you're talking about limited editions, but you're talking about limited editions 50 Fathoms. You're not talking about the collection. When you talk about Omega, you don't only talk about Speedmaster. You talk about a wide range of different watches. So the problem with Blancpain is that. Yes, I do like some of the older Villeret, and there was
beautiful.
I do like there was once a titanium Aqualung with a big date, and there's some really nice pieces, but it is so incredibly niche. It's so incredibly niche, and if you walk past the Blancpain boutique in Geneva, you know where it is. You're just staring into the 1990s if you look at the collection, and it's just.
I like the 90s.
Yeah, I know you like the 90s, and and if you're into that, then there are some. I like this. I like the stepped bezel. I can appreciate somehow the somewhat cliche like moon phase that they have. Yes, they have some slim models that are very nice, but it's incredibly niche, and then you can be very, very niche, but then also have this this brand perception and this that is incredibly good. Like there are plenty of everybody knows, but Patek, nobody can afford a Patek. Almost nobody, but everybody knows them.
Yeah. But if we look in the Swatch Group stable, what is the other brand that Swatch could have done a collaboration with that would be then? No, but more logical, because I don't think there is, to be honest.
No, but that's the whole thing. They did something brilliant, because I still think that the Moon Swatch is brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
I think it's a very good idea.
And I don't think this is brilliant, and I don't think. Are they going to do a Type 20 plastic Swatch Breguet?
Plastic PRX,
ceramic, man.
PRX maybe.
Yeah, but
no, because it's too close.
Yeah, it could be.
So Swatch and Tissot are too close in price then, because the bioceramic PRX will be, I think, almost as expensive as the digital one.
But
bioceramic Longines.
But just name one watch within Swatch Group that is as iconic as the Speedmaster.
Yeah, no,
just name one.
Well, I would say a Seamaster 300M is pretty nice.
Yeah,
but if you do that, then Swatch starts to do a second Omega model, and then it's like milking. Of course, they are milking out the brand, drying out the brand. I feel, and that doesn't feel right as well. So if they do it, they need to do it with a different brand. So it was Omega. Now they need to do Blancpain or Breguet or Glasuit Originals, some kind of high-end brand from Swatch. But I think if you look at Swatch, I think a 50 Fathoms or a Type 20 would be logical. But what is the effect? The effect is that more people will know about Blancpain or will know about Breguet, but in this case it's Blancpain. Will that result into more sales? I think that's a big question mark.
I don't think so. I think that's the problem.
But they do something about the exposure of Blancpain, and I think that is a good thing. But I think those are two very separate things.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah, and I also think that, like you just said, that it would make sense for them to do a PRX because they're too close in price, for example. I think they did the opposite here, that the Blancpain is too far away in price.
Yeah, but the Speedmaster is 7.5K, so that's already very far away.
It is far, but it's not twice as far as the Blancpain.
No, and there it made sense because the Moonwatch is very iconic. And of course, the 50 Fathoms is also iconic, but for a very niche group like said.
Exactly.
And of course, and there is this debate now if it's truly the first modern dive watch.
Yeah, but in the end,
it's going to go on forever.
But that will go on forever. What is the oldest city in the Netherlands? Is it Maastricht or Nijmegen? That will go on forever as well.
Yeah,
I think it's also not important who was the first, because if that's your sales pitch,
exactly,
that's very weak. That's a weak sales pitch. Oh, we were the first to have a diver's watch. We were the first to have a pilot's watch.
We were the first with a modern diver's watch.
Yeah, with a rotating bezel.
But that's the whole thing. But the whole thing is it's already incredibly niche.
Yeah.
But the problem is also that the other watch of that brand we shall not mention,
Yeah.
that is the absolute icon of dive watches.
It would have been stronger if
so you
Swatch
can't
would have
beat
done
that
a
anyway.
bioceramic version of a Submariner or a Daytona.
Yeah.
And I think Swatch would be open for it, to be honest.
Yeah, but
I think Swatch would be very open for it.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
Rolex.
no,
is,
but
of course,
Rolex already has they have Tudor, so they don't need.
Oh yeah, they have their plastic.
sorry.
No.
Tudor.
So what do we think of the watch itself? Because that's a different story, right? If I look at the Blancpain Swatch, and my favorite is the white one.
Yep, mine too.
And Arctic.
No, mine is actually the Arctic.
Is that the blue? No. What
the
color is that?
Orangey beige.
Oh yeah.
Orangey beige. Yeah, that's also nice.
Yeah. Will you buy one? If you go to Amsterdam, I don't know, by
No.
coincidence, you go to the boutique.
No.
You, Lex? If you see one here, you know.
No. But I'm really happy with my my Moonswatch. I like it. No, I'm quite sure that this will not give me the same pleasure. It's just not as
It doesn't give you the fizz.
funky. It somehow it just doesn't have that.
Is it too serious?
Well, if you look at the colors, no, because that's one obstacle as well. I think, but what they did with the colors was a bit much. But that's a personal taste. But is it serious if you have have pictures of sea slugs in the back?
If anything,
Yeah.
I think
Really
it's less
take it.
serious than the Moonswatch.
Would you-
That case
but-
bag is
okay,
awful.
but so would you have bought it if it was 250 euros and had a quartz movement?
Yeah, the whole thing of there will never ever be a Blancpain.
Yeah, but
with
it's
blah blah blah. So
That's
yeah,
a line from 1980.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I
also
know,
this
I
is a
know,
Swatch, so-
I know.
And this is a Swatch.
I think if
Yeah.
it would have been cheaper and it had a like a good honest quartz movement, yeah, maybe it would have been more attractive than this.
Now
Also, because I have a the first generation system 51.
Yeah, me too.
It's a lousy. It's a
Mine
noisy.
mine
it's a-
stopped
it's a noisy
after a year
fucker.
or so, and I never wore it.
Yeah. I was impressed by it, by the whole concept and
Yeah.
everything, but I'm also not the biggest fan. So somehow the whole concept just seems a little bit shaky. Also, the fact that you can't service that movement, so in the end, you have a watch that is not really sustainable. Blancpain is all about the conservation of the seas and the blah blah blah. So there are just too many aspects that just
Is
don't
it too
really,
far-fetched, you think? Too sought after?
Yeah, maybe a bit.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if it's that thought through as well. It seems like it was sort of, let's do the next thing. Let's get some things together and we do this.
Well, they obviously thought of it before, but because you saw the prototype, right?
Yeah, I saw when I was visiting Swatch in Switzerland last year and had an interview with Nick Hayek Jr. He showed me some prototypes. I can't properly mention the ones I saw, but there were prototypes from Swatch Group brands and outside Swatch Group brands. The thing is, the Moonswatch looked best because as soon, and that's what the thing, what worried me a little bit. The other ones I saw were three-handers, and then it's like a plastic or bioceramic replica of something that exists.
Yeah.
And I think that is what they did well here with this Blancpain Swatch collab of the 50 Fathoms, the Scuba 50 Fathoms. It doesn't look like a bioceramic copy of an existing watch. It's like a fun interpretation of a very serious watch. And that's also how I look at it. And I also get the System 51 movement. I also wouldn't have mind if they put an ETA in it that they did in those first Swatch automatics from the 90s.
Oh yeah, true.
That would be cool. But
be
I think the System 51 is the Swatch shtick, I guess.
Yeah. Also makes sense.
But for me, the price is an issue. For 390, almost 400 euros. In the end, it's a disposable because, well, you can have it repaired or replaced, but you can't have it properly serviced, I guess. But there's warranty, so within 2 years you will get a replacement, or they will replace the movement as such. But for me, that's a lot of money for a Swatch, to be honest. I think every watch brand has its price category, bandwidth. And I think with the Moonswatch, the price was already discussion with a lot of people, 250 and later on 260. And with there, I can see the fun, and I bought several, and that's fine. I think I have 4 or 5, so that's like €1,000 spent. That's all fine. But with this, I feel, man, it's 400 euros for a watch that I'm probably not going to wear a lot, and it might stop at some point.
Yeah, you want
Yeah,
another
then
strap
I'll
for it.
Rather
What-
buy a new putter or a driver.
What would you pay for it if it had an adder movement?
I think that between 200 and 300 euro is a sweet spot thing for me for Swatch. And I
would
think
you be willing to pay more if it had an adder movement that could be serviced?
yeah, but then it's also not again the
Yeah.
Swatch spirit.
No.
Because when Swatch came in '83, you had these watches for 40 or 50 Swiss francs.
Yeah.
What should they have done
Yeah.
for them to have you go to the Swatch boutique
That's
in
the
Amsterdam?
question.
What they
Between 2 and 300 euros, put a quartz movement inside.
and
that's
then with
it.
the same looks. The looks are okay.
The looks
for
are
you.
okay. I like the looks. I don't like all
Okay.
colors, but that's like you say, it's personal.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
care for the orange one,
No.
but the white one is cool. The
Yeah.
blue one is cool. I would buy one of those. And between 2 and 300 euros, would have bought one or two, and that's fun. But now I feel it's
It's
And
also
for you, what should they have done in your perfect world?
they shouldn't have done anything. They should have gone on a holiday or something.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone. Just leave
yeah, but they
it
need
alone.
something, yeah. And I that's why I also
Who needs something? Does
Swatch.
Does Swatch still need something?
of course,
Yeah, but
because they need a
but
new
do-
success.
But do they need? Yeah, okay, but
Because Swatch I think that's what the Moon Swatch did perfectly. Nobody was talking about Swatch anymore. Only the old geezers
Yeah.
that love their
Yeah.
sentimental
Yeah, so
stuff
they-
from the
yeah.
80s and 90s. They came with the Moon Swatch and boom.
and then what? Use
Everyone
the momentum.
and their moms were asking about it.
Okay, true. Then use your momentum and use the positivity. Go from there. But now,
But no-
so now you put something out that Blancpain needs because Blancpain needs the publicity, and Swatch needs it. So in the end, I don't think it doesn't
I
come
don't
from a place of strength. It doesn't.
Yeah.
They don't convince
No,
me.
but this
It doesn't
this
say,
is not
look.
this is not what Blancpain needs.
No,
this is
that's
good.
also no.
This
that's
is good
also
exposure
true,
for
but-
Blancpain, and some people complain, "Oh, it will dilute the brand and it will break the man." That's the least of Blancpain's problems.
Yeah. True. No,
To be
it's
honest.
true.
Definitely.
So that's not a thing for me. It doesn't dilute Blancpain. It can't be any more diluted.
No.
They need to come up with proper watches.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
but that's the case for Swatch, and that's also the case.
But
for,
with Swatch,
for
I like
Blancpain.
the concept. The idea is nice. The execution is nice, but I think the price is a little bit too high. But the thing is, the Moon Swatch was their momentum. That was their goal.
Yeah.
Last year was amazing for Swatch. And I think it did more good for Swatch than perhaps for Omega. I also don't think it
absolutely.
did bad for Omega because they
no.
sold a lot more Moon watches. But I feel that this year, 2023, is the 40th anniversary of Swatch.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
Do something nice.
Yeah.
Do something that plays into the sentimental role of an older generation,
Yeah.
and do something very cool for a younger generation that is also able to afford these watches.
Yeah. That's
Because
a good
400
call.
euros
That's
is a
good
lot of
call.
money for a youthful group, and I think Swatch did so many cool pieces in the 80s. You can revise them, revamp them with their printing capacities, because you can do these.
I will
these
never
templates.
forget the look on your face when we went into the Paris Swatch boutique to have a look at the new Grand Prix.
Yeah, with the
because you-
bioceramic ones with all the neon colors.
Yeah, and then it was the humongous.
I love the original, and the original you have to pay
doesn't?
like $800 on eBay and whatsoever. And that, for me, that's also crazy. And they redid this model, and then they come with this big bold version.
Yeah.
And I think, no, the colors are awesome. The colors are awesome, but make it like the original, 37 millimeters.
You tried it
Boom.
on, man. You tried it on, and you couldn't do it.
I have one. I bought one in the. I have
You
one
did?
in the end, but I also bought one for my wife, the pink one, and I prefer the pink one even.
Yeah,
Such a cool watch.
yeah.
But the bold, the big bold one in the Grand Prix is no.
So in essence, would it be fair to say that you would have liked this watch better if it hadn't been a collaboration between Swatch and Blancpain?
No,
Right.
I think I would have the Blancpain Swatch collaboration would be nice if the price would be lower,
Yeah.
and if that means that they would have needed to use the quartz movement.
Yeah.
Was a very bad sentence, but if it would have
Yeah.
meant they needed to use the quartz movement, perfect. So be it, because it's a Swatch. It's not a Blancpain. It's a Swatch.
Yeah.
So that whole rule from 1980
Yeah.
doesn't fly with me.
No.
But I rather have Swatch put in effort to make a proper Grand Prix.
Yeah.
To make proper re-editions of some very cool classic watches that also talk to a younger audience. My daughter is 10, and I think I have said this in the past as well.
They tried with the square one.
Yeah, that's true. I asked my daughter, what is a swatch that you would love to have? Oh, Dad, I want a smaller one because the big one, the 34s, are too large for me. I want and they have 26 or 28. They have a smaller size, but I want leopard print. I want the one that with Toca Boca on it or Roblox. That's the game that every kid that is 10 years old plays. Yeah. Why don't you do something like that for that audience? For the audience that we are, I think they should do some watches that play into our sentiments with Swatch. Make a proper Grand Prix.
Yeah. Play with, exactly. And not,
they can
and
do
not,
it. And
not
because
look for
if
another
you go
brand.
to the Swatch website, you have a configurator and you can use a template to design your own swatch. So what they can also do is use the template of swatches they had in the past and do it like customized. I want to have the swatch from 1991 with this and this print. Okay, boom, here you go.
Yeah, sometimes they do. They do re-editions.
Yeah, that's cool. I have a few re-editions they did, and I like them. Man, I love Swatch. I also love Blancpain, but I think Swatch 40th anniversary, do something.
It's
really
weird,
cool.
right? The timing with the 40th anniversary of Swatch and the 70th anniversary of the 50 Fathoms. You do
Focus
something
on your
together.
own brand. And like you said,
do the
Swatch,
worst of both brands.
Swatch did something cool with the rectangular.
Yeah.
When I saw the pictures, I wasn't a fan, but then we went to the boutique in Amsterdam and they showed it with a crystal that you can look into from the sides.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's a really cool watch.
Yeah, it is.
It's really a cool
watch.
watch.
But
those kind of things we want. At least I would like to see these things.
Yeah.
But I also only speak for my generation or for myself, basically. And I don't know, well, I know what my daughter wants, but you can talk to so many different audiences being Swatch. So you should, and perhaps they do, but I think it's not always a hit.
No, but it also kind of shows on the secondary market now with the with what you see, the prices, the amount of watches that are on the secondary market. It and there are no more lines. It kind of
so what's
down.
the price in the gray market on Chrono24 and eBay for a Blancpain Swatch?
Somewhere between 500 and 800. You
Yeah,
can easily find them for.
So if I want to buy one, I need to drive to Amsterdam.
Yep.
100 kilometers. At least 100 kilometers, and I need to park there, which Amsterdam is nuts. So you pay 25, 30 euros if you're there for a little bit.
Amsterdam as well, which is
and you have to put up with Amsterdam. So it's almost easier for me to buy one off eBay or Chrono than to buy one in the boutique. Yeah.
And we're talking about it now, but if you look online, are people still talking about it? There has been some marketing analysis.
It was a good full week of guessing and mock-ups. We also did mock-ups.
Yeah.
And some showing some cues and showing a lot of frustration.
And showing people who would actually buy one in the store and then resell it further down the line in the
we saw that as well.
We saw that as well in London. That happened.
Yeah, Manchester, I think as well.
Okay.
Dave said. But there was talk about it. Whether it's positive or negative, that doesn't matter because people talk about it. They talk about Swatch, talk about Blancpain. But I have the feeling that it already faded away quite a bit, but this will fade away quite quickly, I feel.
It definitely will. And I think it's just what you said just now, that people talk about Blancpain. Do you really think they talk about Blancpain when they see this watch?
My hope...
I felt like they talked about Omega with the Moon Swatch, but now...
No. But my hope,
but there's not much to talk about because they don't. If you don't know something, it's very difficult to talk about it.
Exactly.
My hope would have been that because I still feel Blancpain deserves attention. The 50 Fathoms
so awesome
deserves attention because it's a great watch, except for the Blancpain in the case band.
The price decised.
No, even the
I
price,
don't think it's such a great watch, actually.
Well, I do think so. I think
it.
even the prices you can debate, but it's a luxury item. There's a complete disconnect between what you will get and what you're paying. So I get that, and that's all fine. But I had to hope that people will talk a bit more about Blancpain, that it would be put more in the spotlight and so on. But then Blancpain also needs to do something. It's not. It can't only be Swatch. No. With Omega, it could be because Omega is the whole household name. Yeah. But Blancpain needs to. Okay, now we are getting the spotlight. Let's do something. Yep. And that doesn't.
Hey, we're still waiting. There's another limited edition 50 Fathoms coming out.
Oh, thank God!
But that's already wrong. It should not be a limited edition.
Don't make it limited.
Yeah. It should be a completely revamped new collection.
There you go.
Boom.
You can do a limited edition, but first you need to get the basics right.
I agree.
Exactly.
No, I agree.
They're losing the foundation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit same with Breguet, the Type 20 with the date window and the text below the date window. The size I can live with. If there would not have been a date window on it, then it would. I can live with that size. but now it's the size and the date window and the printing. But also rumors go that this is just a start. They will do more models. So I think they also listened and said, okay, let's also make a version without a date. I think that will be awesome.
But just the whole point that they have to listen to the audience. They should know this when they do it.
Yeah, but they don't.
They invented the Type 20. Come on, people.
Well, the worrying
Let's go.
the worrying
Come on.
part is you have these small micro brands and independent brands, other brands that do a Type 20.
They do them better.
If a brand like Erin from Tom van Weilik does a Type 20 and it's more true to the original than Breguet does themselves, and I think, and that Erin Type 20 has been around for a long time. Meanwhile, so they could have known.
It's also just very interesting because in essence, a Type 20 chronograph is a tool watch.
Yeah.
And now when Breguet does it, it's a luxury watch. It's an auto luxury piece, and that's fine. But it also then it has to be the superior product in
absolutely
all aspects.
Yeah.
And the problem is it's just not that. So then
they're setting the bar very high for themselves.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can't mess it up.
No.
You get one chance to do it right, and
exactly.
I think the watch as such is nice. I think the case shape is really good.
Mm-hmm.
The dial color is good. Everything is nice except there's a date, but that's an easy fix, right?
Yeah.
Take the date off.
Yeah.
So it's not that hard. They should just do it.
Yeah, I've been thinking about the Type 20 for a long time, and
the old ones.
And also after the release of the new ones, and the way Breguet positions itself, what they want to be, etc., etc. And then to my opinion, it's completely the wrong strategy to bring out something in steel for that price and just do it in precious metal, twice as expensive, and just make it like.
I somewhat disagree because I think. With the Moonwatch, for a long time, that was almost their cheapest offer in the Omega catalog. And I think that was also partially the success of that watch.
Yeah, but times have changed
so
much.
That's true. So
times have changed so much.
And with Breguet, if you do a Type 20, you have to do it spot on.
Yeah.
You have to do it so incredibly right. And then I don't think it matters if the watch is 15K or 20K, even if it's in steel.
No,
because in the end, it's a Breguet.
Yeah, it should have been more expensive.
It's top. And
just look at Lange, what they did. They should have done something. Somehow they try to be accessible, but also luxurious.
You have to make a decision.
You have to make a clean-cut decision. It's a Type 20, okay, and this is the ultra Type 20. This is going to be 40K, and this is why.
Yeah, well, I still believe there's room for a steel one and make it between 15 and 20K, but you have to do it spot on.
Yeah.
I was in the Breguet boutique during Geneva Watch Days, and this is now suddenly going about Breguet, not Blancpain Swatch, but it's Swatch Group. And they had some historical models there in the boutique. I think for during watches, the Geneva Watch Days, and one of the very first ones, it was a Type 20 with this brown tropical dial. It's so awesome, and man! If you would copy that. It would be an instant seller the same day. Yeah. I'm so convinced. So why do we have to tell them that? And that is something that is, you are the watch brand. You should know. Like you say, Laurits, they should know.
They invented the thing.
Yeah, but I also kind of like it when the public follows, a brand leads, and it seems to be in the exactly. Yeah. And I also kind of like that because it also shows the superiority of a brand. It's and nowadays the watch crowd has become so influential, as in we want this, we want that, and then they try to cater to our retro needs, and I get that. But especially for a brand or a house, a maison like Breguet, they should also not listen to the customers, but they should know what the market is like, what the competition is like, how you want to position yourself as a brand. And if you do that well, the public will follow. And so. And again, it to me it looks a little bit like they're in between. They want both. They want to be this and that. We want to cater to their needs, but also to their needs. No, don't Just
Yeah, but
make
it's also
make a decision and just lead,
But
and then people will follow if you do the right thing.
I think that's the best possible way you can have. But I think in reality, brands have to listen to the audience and see what plays. So they
have to
make
certain guidelines, so to say.
Exactly.
But I think they should be able to make independent decisions within those parameters.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it was a very independent decision. I think it was a very independent decision to put a date on a Type 20. They didn't listen to the market.
Yeah, it was an independently stupid decision.
And I think they might look at sales numbers to see, hey, which model sells better? Is it the one with a date window or without a date window? And if you base it on that, I think that's a wrong guideline.
No, a completely wrong guideline. But
because you also see it with the sizes that brands, they still use, let's do this watch in 42 because 42 millimeters is still the size we sell best.
Yeah.
That's not a guideline. Look at the watch, look at the product itself. Mm-hmm. And try to listen a little bit on what's playing in the community, where the trend is where diameters are going down.
Yeah.
And I agree, you don't always have to listen, but if you make a decision, do it from your own strength within, but make it
and do it with confidence.
Yeah.
And having said that, and it brings us back to Blancpain.
Oh, good.
This is the whole thing. The whole project doesn't seem to feel like it comes from strength.
Nope.
And that's probably also why I don't really like it.
Yeah. Well, I like to watch how it looks. I think it's very nicely done. It's probably well made. I don't know. I haven't touched one yet. But so for me, the product as such is good as it is. I guess it's just the price point. And I don't know what will.
We'll just keep an eye. We'll see where we'll follow the market. Let us know in the comments what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think about the Blancpain Swatch collaboration, and leave it in the comments. And so far this status update on the latest Swatch collaboration. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching if you're viewing us on YouTube, and see you next time.